going to be starting from the real basics and pushing all the way through. Now, even if you think you know Juji Gatame, don't overlook the basics. These basics are the things that actually win you the contest. Okay? The entries are good, but if you don't know how to finish the technique, you'll be there for ages trying to put it on, and you'll be gutted if you don't finish it. Okay? So we're going to start from the real basics of how we apply it. Towards the end of the week, you guys should have a real good fundamental knowledge of the technique. Okay? So just looking at how to apply the technique first. One of the real key things with Juji Gatame is knowing where the little finger is. Okay? If you know where the little finger is, you know where the elbow is. Okay? When you're doing Juji Gatame, you're trying to snap the elbow. Okay? You're not trying to break the bones in the middle, and you're not trying to dislocate the shoulder. You're attacking the elbow joint. Okay? When the kit is up here, the only way we know where that elbow is by knowing where the little finger is. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? So if we know where that is, we know how to apply it. So we'll start with just a textbook Juji Gatame. So leg over the body, leg over the head. Okay? Make sure your bum or your bottom is shoveled right up towards their shoulder. Okay? Now, all you're going to do, have two hands on the wrist to start with. Okay? Now, when we're here, some people cross their legs, some people don't. I actually don't have a preference. Okay? So I don't mind. If you want to cross your legs, you can. If you don't want to, don't. Generally, I'll keep mine off because I like to keep pressure on the head with this foot. Okay? When I'm here, I'm focusing on squeezing the body together. When I'm here, I'm focusing on keeping my weight with my leg on his head. Okay? Now, I do squeeze my knees together though when I go to apply. So I've got both hands on the wrist, I'm pulling back. But not only am I just sitting back, I'm actually trying to pull the arm up. Okay? What I don't want is for him to be able to pull it back down. So when I'm here, I've got the grip, I'm pulling up as I come down, my knees are coming together. Now, at this point, my knees are squeezing, I'm keeping this on my chest, it's already applied. Some people are really flexible, especially girls. Okay? This won't be enough. So at this point, you might need to lift your hips into the air. Okay? All we're going to do with your partner, you're going to find this position. Person underneath, you can start with your hands wherever you like. You've got to find the little finger, get it on your chest, legs over, pull up, come down, and apply. Keep control. Don't go falling back, breaking somebody's arm. Does everybody understand? Right, with a partner you can work with in a space. Let's start with that. Okay, when it comes to Juji Gatame, when you finish in this position, you all know how to apply the arm lock. Yeah? So there's no excuses getting to this position and not being able to apply it. Now, obviously we know when we're doing Juji Gatame, the arm doesn't just pop out, they defend. Okay? Now, one of the most straightforward defenses is they grab their own gi. Okay? Do they grab it with just one hand, or do they block with both hands? Usually both hands. Okay? We're going to start from here. Okay? They've got hold of their gis like this. Yeah? So at this point, imagine my leg is over his head. I'm not doing it just yet, so I want to make sure he can breathe. Okay? So from here, hand closest to the head is going to feed through. Okay? And once you feed through, just keep your hand nice and straight. So we're here, it feeds through, and I'm right on the wrist. Okay? It's no good being in the middle of the arm. Once I'm in here, the other arm's going to bend, your elbow's going to come down, and you're just going to push in. Okay? Once you've got that bend in his arm, you're just going to grab your hands here. Okay? Keep the pressure with your elbow down, and then we're just going to pop up. Okay? So from here, we're in, hand comes in, you feel it nice and easily, you come to the other side, you come down, now we're just going to pop up. Okay? At this point, all I want you to do is grab the wrist, work out where the little finger is, bring it to your chest, and then apply it just like we have done. Okay? This is an easy way of getting the arm out. This is the one we're going to start with, and then I'm going to show you one that's slightly harder after this one. Okay? So one more time, your partner's in. I'll put my leg over this time. We're here, we feed through. Okay? You can rest your hand on your leg if you want. As I come to this side, I come in. I'm obviously super strong, I've already broken it off. Okay? Now from here, pull it up towards the head, then grab the wrist, stretch out, and then come down. Everybody understand? Let's go. So once again, my leg will be over his head. Instead of feeding in from the head side this time, I'm feeding in from the lapel side or the leg side. Okay? Now from here, when I do this, I'm going to break my posture. I'm going to bend right over. Okay? Now the reason why I do that is because I want to get a really high grip on my lapel. By doing this, I'm going to start creating pressure from my back. Okay? So I've got a really high grip, and now Cheese has to work just to keep hold. He's not going to let go. It's not strong enough to do that. But at this point, he's having to work to keep it on. Okay? That's what I want. I want him to fatigue. I want his arms to be really sore by the end of this. Okay? So I'm in here, I crouch over, and I feed my kit in as high as I can. Alright? Now I've got that pressure. Sorry, Cheese, I have to do it from here. Now, once I'm here, all I'm going to do is the hand that's not doing anything is going to slide under his head. When I slide under his head, all I'm looking to do is make him face this way. Okay? Remember what I said before, if my partner is defending like this in a straight line, he's quite strong. By turning his head, now I'm stretching all the ligaments, all the muscles in his neck that run down into his shoulder. Okay? Which is now, with the pressure of me pulling on his elbow, and now this being stretched, okay, is going to cause him some discomfort. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm in here, I've fed it down, I've put that pressure on, and I've turned his head. Once I've done that, now I roll my leg into his head. Okay, this keeps pressure. The hand that's not doing anything, I've got a free hand, grabs his wrist. When I grab his wrist, I rev it like a motorbike. I'm going to rev it away from him. So I'm here, and I pull away. Now I come down, and I grab my own wrist. Now, if Cheese was my size, he wouldn't have let go then, because he would have been super strong. Okay? But I keep this pressure. At this point, it's not nice for my partner. If it pops off, then you will just take it out, okay? But it's unlikely at this stage it will pop off. So all I'm going to do from here is I'm going to keep that nice and strong. I'm going to roll down to my side. I roll down and I let Cheese come up with me. Now all I'm going to do is push my leg away. The arm comes out and I roll into the arm. Okay? Pen, let's use you, a bit stronger. Okay? So, we're in here. We come in, we bend over, I break my posture, and I pass in. Okay? My leg is pushing into his rib cage. The leg that's here, I'm going to move his head, and I'm going to push. This is uncomfortable for my partner. Grab the wrist. I'm going to rev it out, I'm going to come down. At this point, I'm keeping that pressure. Okay? I'm going to rock down to the side, so I'm here. Now, I'm not trying to kick my heel to the floor, I'm trying to push it to the wall. Then, I don't come up again, I come down, squeeze my knees, and I apply the arm lock. Okay? So, you guys are going to start with the first two parts. That's feeding your arm in from the leg side, pulling your collar down, creating that pressure. Once you're here, turn the head and put the pressure on with your leg. Is that uncomfortable, Ken? Yep. That's where I want you to get to start off with. Everybody understand? Let's go. So, partner's defending nice and strong. We've hooked in. Some of you, when you're grabbing your lapel, there's all this space behind it. So what happens when you sit up is you just move into that space. There's no pressure on your partner's elbow at this point. So at this point, Cheese could hold that all day. When I come down, if you notice, I pull it down. The same as I was going in for a strangle. The first thing I'll do is pull their gi down, okay, to take any of the slack away from their neck. So I come down, I come in, I pull the slack away, now I posture up, okay? So we're in here. With my hand, all I'm doing is scooping under his head, okay? So he looks away. Then I push my hamstring into his head, okay? Now lots of you, at this point, would then just try and get it out. It might work some of the time, but we want it to work every time, okay? So we need to do these next couple of steps. The hand that's not doing anything grabs the wrist, and I rotate the wrist, okay? Remember what I said, I need to start working on changing that angle. So I'm here, I turn, now I can let go, and I come in, okay? As I let go, I'm there. I'm turning the elbow away, okay? Keeping that pressure on. Now, he's really struggling, okay? But if he's super strong like Cheese is, it might still not come out. So at this point, I keep this pressure, I try and keep his elbow close to my tummy, I roll down to the side. Now I push my leg away. That's when it pops out. I don't sit back up again. I roll these arms out and I bring it onto my chest, keeping everything safe, and then I apply it. Okay? Pen, let's just use one more time. So here, in position, we bend over, nice, tighten your kit up, and posture up. Head comes down, hamstring, pressure on their head. Grab the wrist. Once we're here, we're going to turn it, okay? Come onto my own wrist, and now I'm coming up. Keep this pulled nice and tight. I'm going to come down to this position. Push my leg away, straighten the arm out, and then from here, I'm going to apply it. Let's give it a go. We won't be focusing on the bits that we've just done, because you should now be thinking about using it at every point. You know how to apply the arm lock, and you've got two ways of getting the arm out, okay? And you should be practicing the full arm lock every single time, so making sure you pop it out and you apply it properly. This can be a really quick way of getting into the Juji Gatame, okay? We're going to look at loads of different ways, but this can be a really simple one, okay? So from here, imagine your partner's done just a drop seal or something, you've killed it. The hand, okay, comes under the armpit and it grabs the lapel, yeah? So from here, I grab the lapel, I hook in. I've got pressure with my knees, and now I'm going to pull up and I'm going to bring my knee round to his shoulder, okay? At this point, his arm won't come up. All I'm looking to do is get a bit of pressure. So I've got my knee and his shoulder here, and I've got my leg putting pressure on his hips. From here, I scoop under, and I grab my own lapel, okay? Now from here, once again, you're not going to get that arm out. The hand that grabbed the lapel first is just going to go onto his hips, and I'm going to start to circle. As I circle, I then sit down, and I'm in this position. If the arm pops out, you can try and apply it straight away. If it's in, you then go through one of the ways of getting the arm out to apply it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'll show you again. Let's start with your head that way. So, from here, we're in this position. I come under and I hook the lapel. So from here, I'm in and I've got control. I've got control of my legs, okay? I'm not just using one arm at this point. I'm here, I pulled in. Now, at this point, I come round, pressure, okay, straight away. This hand hooks in and grabs my lapel. The other hand comes on the hips, and I just start to circle, okay? Then at this point, I can sit back, and I can come over, okay? Let's go ahead like this. So from here, I hook, I take the arm, okay? I come round. Come under, I hook. Now from here, hand on his hips, and I circle over his shoulder, okay? As he comes down, that's when I lower myself. Come over to this point. If he defends, you finish it. Every time. Yeah? Let's go. 5 more minutes. It's more annoying when we approach Ne Waza, okay? And people forget what judo is. Judo is about keeping control and breaking balance. So even when we're doing something as simple as a sit-back Juji Gatame, okay? What we don't want to see is people hooking in like this, and then just falling backwards, okay? It's never going to work. You've got to think like a judo player the whole way through. I've got to break balance and I've got to keep control. If I'm just hugging, and then falling back, it's never ever going to work to any level, okay? So we're in here, we hooked, we pulled this at the beginning. We're starting to get that control. By pulling, it's starting to drop his shoulder. That allows me to come over and keep that pressure, okay, with my knee. I'm not coming in and kneeing my partner. I'm coming in and keeping control, okay? Now at this point, that's when I hook in, okay? Now from here, I can let go. This is not doing anything anymore. I come to his hips, and now I'm going to turn. Break my partner's posture, keeping control. Now here, look, I'm still in control. If I was against somebody who was really super strong, and they were in, I didn't think I was going to get it by sitting back, I'd then roll into a harder juji, a more complex juji, okay? But at this point, I'm still in control. sit back, and now I can attack the arm with whichever way I want to get it out. Does everybody understand? A couple more minutes. Let's go.